Siama Jo Sompa 93.1 Sunye. Adashma manon sia boy mamunyana mwacho. Anaso kasebo choto na jwa dai. General Basonda to so de no so afempem bienu. Ane de no sunye. Ansama odro aboabo no. Afro ma Ghana mu na na ya baba sani mu. Sakasia body amamwe. Na mampanye John Dramani Muhammad ya tuja. Wasi abi mai ye nyina ya haw ba ko pa. Ayasa yade ya ho ato kwasi broni so dalada nyina ya la sula la mu mai bibidie no ano na aka obi ya ntumi mpem enkoyanim sanso na kana mampanya ba die kire doctor Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia wano so aka sa chwa sasa ye bu adehye a wo mo mamu no ano so boa pa ama ke mamenka bia man no etumi agina na naso Bank of Ghana na bo amane yi wo se monetary policy rate no wo mo sesa no na masika kra bia wodo na beka say interest rate wono mo atotuma pagyamu de akosoro nam so nti agina wo ha mo nchemu aduonu nson 27% a eno na eboa wo mei also for ya pa no babara nsa se no odoma ko anu ma ode acha yaso anso akasa chwese nyame ya dom ne agine tumu a wobara so ma gande kwa ebretuo no nipa biata ansan koto fumagudie ewo sanso ana panyepa ya wo hwe kire sa Youth Employment Agency panyi kwantro fo so akasa wose unemployment se ne ese bi do so o ma gane mu nipa a wo munya dwumanye no aya homeche sempa ya wotia na nakoma aya no ja another dua santema ntem so for ya pa no Dr. Frank amwakwo hene so kopie mu appointment committee anim ansam dia pinu anu abroso na numere ye be chirechire mu dia kire wo wani nsema wodo no ana yese nkonya yado no nyina baba so mo se no nsia kase bonyuma ko bia daroma ana wonma so yesene 21st clinic was sciatica expert through herbal center woman so the through core capsules aba express group woman na de to kwan me zone 5G yada mo nyina mo asedam wase agusuane antnan don shoro ba kwantem na kase bono yem fama so me amatena se bekenkan sem yi metin ene akosuya ajewa akwade boaten ansam ne nchemu ankasa eni Mampanga John Dramani Muhammad yakotu dwa ewo Nairobi ana watchre musa anai aha pinwa yade a African Union emaka ba mukuo wan mo haw ye wo sene ne kine yada won matena se wo se won konya dwendwen ho na wo hwa na moto sonko a wo betumi de afaso ma biman amama wodo no yasanso afrento mapa adiefra na wo se wo haw wodo a ye wo no anyina ya se ne yamankrofo maman so wo bia kire yansa de akuyachi ana wonam kwati kwa so ate aduane de ahyemuo se yemfanfa ya chi mfa mewura yanum ne nyina no akwa ya se ya dane de nyina no ya sode a awone ya tie ya lala shulala ekoto sore wo mo no pa wiane anumre se ye benya kakra de aba na ya ne ya fiefo aba abedie na sabosi abro no ya bro no eno na amaye ntuma ne ye ho a yeda so hye nkwasum wo nkrofo amaman so nam so nti no ya hwai se ye betumi aboye ho so yentia sese bima yade ya wo de afiri kwasi broni nsam nam so nti no sesa anuama no yade ho akwakwhyemwo no ye betumi ate ho de a ene na age se edi kan nyante ase wa adwene mu ansa na pie wo honam ani se ye besinketa abo aboso na sa anuama no yetime de aye adwuma na wono no wo hu sese sa de no yetumi ahwe ne de aye adwuma beboa pa ama bibi mai dade de nyina no la sulala ye kwakwa ye abobo siansa na ye nyabi ade aba behwe man no yetumi afiri ho sa.
Transparency must be the guiding principle in how we conduct our affairs, ensuring that our policies and programs translate into real change for our people. We must adopt mechanisms that prioritize accountability, transparency, and value for money, ensuring that every resource is maximized for the benefit of the African people. Your Excellencies, one of the fundamental pillars of reform is AU's financial autonomy. The over-reliance on external partners for funding compromises the organization's independence and ability to set its own agenda. The implementation of the Kigali decision on financing the Union must be expedited. A self-reliant African Union is not just a vision we have, it is an imperative to achieve.
John Dramani Mahaman Yaten and Canon and watching a woman answer. What was switch most Sabrina son, Sabre my young fashion, one mass so, say to me the Marca, you may dear what do I did in our home, not a woman mass or so. One would you dear near a shamuka crowd, one more, our mamma hono, a bet me a piano, one more much at the trading pong, at the other one more than a day in a da, one bet to me at an idea.
Africa's future lies in its youth. Over 60% of our population is under the age of 25, and yet their voices are largely absent in policymaking. We must institutionalize frameworks that empower our young people and our women to lead at all levels of governance. And I'm happy to report that in the last election, for the first time in Ghana's history, we elected a woman as our vice president. The energy of our youth, creativity, and vision are the drivers of the Africa that we all seek to build. The African Continental Free Trade Area has set the foundation for a single African market, but much work remains to be done. We must address the barriers to trade, we must harmonize regulatory framework, and invest in infrastructure to unlock the potential of intra-African trade. Additionally, the AU must champion technological innovation and digital transformation as catalysts for economic growth and inclusion. And in this, we wish that the African payment system that allows us to pay seamlessly for goods traded between our countries is expedited so that we can have a system of exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, none of these reforms will succeed without committed leadership at every level of the African Union. We as heads of states and governments have a duty to lead by example, to prioritize the collective good of our people over our parochial interests.
I was so aware of Panya John Dramani Mahaman Yaten and Canabi Makabamuko and Shamudia Sonkwana Koso and Arabino and Yates, so one of them Diawado Wano, what de Equacasaya, what the Biquacatachi. Na Jumadia Sonkubia Koso, our Nigeria memu. Where I Jumadia, and offer Shamudia would draw ya a cassa fa kemamin kabi, and was sabi Maya Bajiatum, na fe yatumi who sadia hunya, sab memana kemamin cabino, yade abaya juma, na ebra canema panyaba de chair doctor, Alhaji Mahmoud Bamiako Piemo was no. Anu Baba Trasa Yara was Sompa, Safri 2020, Afem Pimianonia Dionu, Abapima Fim Pimianonia Dionomi and Sa 2023 Nimuno. Abibiman kwa no abantuguo atumi akwaso makomako enwoche wabra kadma kabi yade ayi adwuma wase we yade a anya ne gisam kora ya wase atenase na yesososo ne nyina no yesam pempi no ano se kwabasa omamu no na sampanyifo mu dia ne mu no wo mu nsa wo na tumi ne kita wo mu enti de wo pa bia no betumi adane tumi ne dia to a ewo na ya na pempi no na abantuguo ehya se yi ne ho die no enu nchi ne ye wase ye matumi no etume kasa ewo nipa muo se wo mbekire wo mutumi wo abato mu de wo mkokromati akwa tintim nipa wo safata so di wo man no so nam so nti wo kire se nei se abasa ke mamen ka be ne yate ase yade ya adwuma enya hini na edim wo bibimam a ene ne yenka hunu se tumi no enipa mu na kita nam so nti na de hia wo wo fam wo no yade obuo ne anidie ebema wo musa.
Between 2020 and 2023, there have been about 8 coup d'etats in Africa. A few leaders have also changed or are changing their constitutions to allow them to stay in power beyond their constitutionally mandated terms. The increasing fragility of democracy in Africa and across the world is cause for concern. In democratic countries, the will of the people is expressed through elections, and leaders, especially incumbents, must trust the electoral process and accept the will of the people for the survival of democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, the year 2024 has been described as the year of political disruption, because out of elections held in 60 countries, incumbents lost 80% of the elections, largely on account of increased cost of living following the COVID pandemic, amongst other reasons. We have seen major examples of this political disruption in countries like South Africa, the United Kingdom, the USA, Japan, India, Sierra Leone, Botswana, and Senegal.
I was saying your turn and Kaya Kanema Panya Bedi, Doctor Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia. Now, I'm watching a woman answer why. And what about Musa? I was second Mamma Cabino. Yatia Siapa, Seriasim at the Papa Biano Yana Bono Batahu. Now soon Tienti Minyan Papa 100%. See de Juma dear. Now so I don't know ye. Son, sir, ye benya ben to go. E moja beka guo ni papi no abefri mu no ke mama nka bi na baba bo yi pa na wokọ Nigeria memu na hwe sene Nigeria man ba samfie miensa a kire ne wo ma wona mane afa no wo ma ban ahon hyehyɛ ho no a wo se ye won matimi akro mu di ma bapem sesa wo bo ne sam hyira ade ma Nigeria man no.
As we ponder over this suggestion, I want to share once again some figures from the 2023 Open Society Barometer report with you. When I read this report, I was shocked to find out that 30% and 38% of young people in Nigeria and Ghana, respectively, said army rule was good for the citizenry. Yes, that's quite high. That is food for thought. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot talk about a deepening democratic culture without devoting time to the role of the citizen. Have we played our roles in sustaining democracy? To answer this question, I'd first borrow some lines from President Barack Obama. And he says, and I quote, "The role of the citizen in our democracy does not end with your vote." Deepening and sustaining our democracy will require that citizens step up to the plate and show a greater voice, a voice that is long on policy coherence and strengthening systems, and a voice that is short on rhetoric and plain political partisan verbiage. In that way, we can hold political office holders accountable for their actions and teleguide governance efforts towards strengthening and consolidating democratic governance.
I was on a Tanakaya Ghana Mampani Dada Bediachre, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia. I felt your Kwasika Semu. Now say Rosika Semua. I know what dear friend say monetary policy rate. Ya no na ban bia nam ne sika kra bia batan so ya wade aye juma. Empempe no ara ya na de hunu ne say. Wa mo de hwe de ya toto ya fa no ya sika sem ho. Sani yabase bi akosoro na se bakọ fom fa na bosia bomu na sa monetary policy rate no sa kwaba na se Bank of Ghana ye no ye o ma Ghana de no wo mo pagya mo de kosoro a empampi no a no ye tawo no se o ma Ghana sika kra bia wodo a wo maimu no bosia bo hunsi ho aya na bi ba bekaka ho pa afei sa kwaba sa sonso tenso a aya na ye hunu sa bosia bo hunsi ho no so no etate de kofom emomanfo ho ha wo mo na na sentam sane o ma Ghana ye sika sam ehwo hyehyese bia kwakoya dollar no kwa na ekosoro na sidi ni ntimi nya na ntu papa bi nyina so ni ntino Bank of Ghana wo mo bo amane bi wo kire mo se monetary policy rate no a empampi no ano se ekosoro na se ba fom am ye sika sam tahinhim wo no adaso gina de gina 27% ohamu nchemu aduonu enson we na monto sonko Ghana fo abano ano ma Ghana sika kra bia batan no de ye biaboa sane ya ba ye sika sam no ntoto ape amadwerifo won kire wo mo kwakọ bobo si ada ne da nyina dansi hu aba bada ho no enkonko ye kakraka bia amaye twamnabo amana wo mo komu na panye kwanchofo Bank of Ghana wadano another duai ebra no mo nsantrofo kasa won hyiamude edikan afa monetary policy rate ho no Dr. Ernest Addison won nsantrofo kasai etwetwemu editresi.
In the domestic macroeconomic conditions is also expected to bolster debt servicing capabilities of corporate and household sectors, which would help mitigate further build-up of NPLs within the industry. The inflation profile remains elevated largely driven by food price movements, especially in the last quarter of the year. The climate-related factors, including the dry spell in some parts of the food-growing regions of the country, and the late onset of rains negatively affected production, while supply chain weaknesses generally affected food prices. While the inflation outturn for the year 2024 deviated from target, it is expected that the disinflation process will resume, contingent on renewed efforts at fiscal consolidation, which is anticipated in the new administration's economic policy agenda and the yet-to-be-presented 2025 budget statement. The bank's latest inflation forecast shows a steady decline and return to the path of disinflation with an extended time horizon of achieving the medium-term target of 8 plus or minus 2%. Under the circumstances, the committee decided to keep the monetary policy rate unchanged at 27%. Thank you.
I was aware Dr. Anna Sadison, your tenant can also have some. I want your Chimuka cannot de MIE. Na ana ampanyofo forward man panyi John Dramani Mahama pa wamwo no ebi kokopiem wo veteran committee no wani mu a wo mo hyase ase wototo ebi mu ano na eba ne yensa ase ne nneoma odoma komade adom ye no panyi pa ya pa no so omna mehwe so se sofo ayera Emmanuel Amakofibu a papa de akwakoto dwa akirem wose nyame ya adom na panyifo ma na konya se won mo gini tumo nko ade a wo mari yakwa ebretuo no beba ho ban pa enya de obema kwan Sarah Basan to Fumagudi womu biom sansa kwabre 20 yadia erija wasa dachi and chirimanso ebabetuo.
As for that, it is non-negotiable, end quote. Will mining in forests, all mining in forests be banned? And if so, when? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman, it is correct. We have said that there will be no new mining activities in Forest Reserve, and the intention is to make sure that LI 2462 will be amended to make sure that this provision that allows mining in Forest Reserve is not in place. We will make sure that happens. If you give me the chance as the minister, that will be the first order of business to make sure that there will be no new mining activities in Forest Reserve. We must stop the
Honorable Chair, sorry, I'm very sorry I have to interrupt. Honorable nominee, sorry.
Honorable member,
the President, no, sorry,
Honorable
Chairman.
member, with all due respect, it is not the answer that you want.
I was young and watching up on your part to us such remu. Was a bunny and so and so and so as Sayanoa. What was a shabby and also or de baba.
We are bringing 3 great initiatives. The Blue Water Initiative, which seeks to heal and harness the environment by turning areas degraded by illegal mining into hubs of economic and ecological recovery. That's what we are going to do. We are also going to do Tree for Life initiative. Reforestation will be intensified. We are not only going to focus reforestation only in the forest, we are also going to encourage afforestation across the country. Chairman, you know, we are going to really push for another policy of Restore Ghana to deal with the issue of galamsey impacted lands and water bodies through a comprehensive land and water-based rehabilitation. These are things we are going to do to really address all the damage and heal the wounds. In the meantime, as we are doing that, we are going to make sure LI 2462 is no more, so that we can stop any further mining in Forest Reserve, and that's exactly what we will do.
I was sorry, I turn and carry a swap for a bonny dear. While I show my Ghana and Sassin and your Motoma Quadia Jaya Soyera Emmanuel Amakofibu. A fair penny pie on also rich as a youth employment agency. Panya Quancho for Era Malik, Basintali. Na penny pie so Akasa Achrim was what you want to work and Sambia. Not a round hopa. Sendai, I want my Bruno Pino, one more years, Yapon. Now so Amunia Jumanye. one more match letters I would draw the akoko in Makua do almost so moko pejuma ye naso so Nina da kwa ye horabasa was in am suntino as sudia kase ya dia wafa adia to no so sansa anai eba youth employment agency na sa maburu se wombanya adwuma ye ehon botaya nko a ene wo so hwe na wode to no ho so nam sunti no wo hwe sane ye baye na ne kine yada no wo ba fa sa sudie ndi ato no ho so na wo hwe sane ye baye unemployment awodo adoso emaburu nya adwuma nye amada ne da nyina no demonstration ni nyina se ekoso ani no eto betimi atwa e wo man ganemu.
Sustainable jobs for Ghanaians. Our aim is to create a skill that will transition the Ghanaian youth into creating their own jobs and employing other Ghanaians. And so it's a help me, I help the situation. They're going to do a lot. And I think that I told them that anybody who thinks that coming years to make money should resign today. But if you are ready to work and make Ghanaians proud, you are welcome on board. Let's get to work. Because it's my interest that by the end of our 4 years, we should be able to reduce the unemployment situation drastically. Unemployment is gradually becoming a national security threat in this country. And if we don't take steps to mitigate the situation, in the long run, we'll all be affected. And so my brothers and sisters, I told them not to have any cause for alarm. I've heard a lot of things in the public space, but I intend forging ahead. And my aim is to set the ball rolling. From today till my last day, I should be able to make John Mahama proud, that he will see that I appointed Malik Basankali and I'm proud of the record. And that will add on to the achievements of his government. And so, like I said, the first thing is to coordinate with the framework developers of the 24-hour economy and to put a lot of our models on a 24-hour shift so that we could recruit more people and help President Mahama run a 24-hour economy. Many of you have seen what President Mahama has been doing the past few days. He's been running a 24-hour economy himself, working day and night. And sometimes I wonder if President Mahama really sleeps. But it's an example to all of us to start working 24-hour economy so we could mitigate the situation.
I was your way, I Malik Basintali near Tenant Canwa Chile, Sa Youth Employment Agency, Pani Quanchafo. Now, another dear sentiment was for your power, no Dr. Frank. I'm walking in a soko PM of veteran committee, no anim. Now, Nanya Sankato, Kraushana, Hofama, Yawadakwa, and a drum one in a chinwa. Wabikura can Cherosa Santememu, a war and Wababa Yasa Swafo. Now, Abra Pani Perquadriano, one shakotu. Ana sabio washa fugu ana bibi etesa wotutu ntoma ye no ya asante ntoma ekira se wo ba asante mem sa asante mantem soafo na ebre okoduru ya na mpanyimfo bisa ne nsem wo no anu wo ba ba kire mu sa wo hwe wo kada sane omudwumadi asetie no a nyame anim ne duruma bia aya na hye bufuo pa wo se wo ye san ketenkete nkumankuma nti wo mo hyada ni mmara no so sane awasan ko man ye hunu no na nyame ya dom no baba tena konya so nko ade a wo ba bi dia boa sane ye ba ya wo kada business no aya na dwuma ne betumi akwankan na hyehye bi wo no ma wo de begu akwan mu ama wo so atumi ade mmara no so a wo ba no sa sane ye ba ya wo kada fo nyinata mmara no wo mbedi so pepepe.
In line with the President's vision of making sure we put the right framework to legalize and regularize the Okada business. And as a matter of fact, in some communities within the region, that is the only means of transport for them. However, our inability as a government to support them with the right training and also with the right legal framework for them to operate has given them a lot of difficulties within these areas. So, when given the nod, I'm going to work closely with the Transport Minister so that we can put into the right perspective how best we could, again, present to Parliament a bill for your consideration in order that we can first have the legal framework to regulate that industry. So that if a policeman is arresting an Okada rider, there could be a law backing him for either non-compliance whatsoever. But as it stands now, it's become more of a harassment on the road. So when giving the nod, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to work closely with the Transport Minister to make sure that we get to present the right framework so that with your approval and permission as a Parliament of the Republic, we can get that legal framework to our brothers within the sector.
Afana from a good year once and someone so you're a Kasai. Ocho Musaba, Wabanya, the Obatana Sayashahain. A man for Fuaba Danas and Temantemu Kwaye. Now soon to no one more when I'm quite quaswa. One more to from a good year where I quabre 12 dominano. And not your Batanasi, more than any Ashahain.
Mr. Chairman, as a medic and knowing the of irresponsible mining and the effect on even the unborn and the society, I'm going to work hard to closely work with the sector ministers and the agencies to ensure that we take good control of mining within the region and do well to make sure we, if not completely, to a larger extent, eliminate irresponsible mining. That I want to give you my assurance, Mr. Chairman, that I'm going to work hard and assiduously on that to make sure we restore our water bodies and the environment. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Alpha no Obwasi Anglo da Shanti. Woman Mabron and Tamu Richard and Pam Kono, woman free one and sono. You're out to a switch remu. So once was say, and paying for you now, boss. Nyame don't know about Tanasa, you shall most on qua, a nipper been more year, at the Afahon or budget, Nandipa. I was your Chinasono, Obenesa.
Yes, it's a sorry situation at Obwasi where we lost 9 energetic men. Any issue that involves the loss of life is a sorry one. And I want to use this opportunity to extend my condolences to the affected family. However, the nitty-gritties of what really occasioned the clash is still under investigation. And thankfully, the President of the Republic has commissioned a team to investigate the matter. I am very sure that the committee will do a good job and come out with good recommendations. Given that recommendation, Mr. Chairman, when given the nod, I'll follow through with the recommendation in order that we will be able to use Obwasi as a test case and as a learning platform so that we can extend those recommendations into the other mining areas in order that we can prevent any such fatal clashes. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
I will say why a Santa Montemo so for your power, no Dr. Frank. I'm walking on your tenant. Can I friend what you know? Yawa Sabana social media no so.com no wadi walk on your papa. Titiro na TikTok ya no abbey. Na another Sompa besana honsem. And Wababa Tressa nay and Sacraya Bevium. Go be crossy and friend tilapia, Diana Chasanipa. What a one ounce what down waka cra. No rest over kuaku nim. Now soon to sunny and ankane. Na ya konkro fo fiefie mu chichiru ne bra yadum kanea yesi ya kwa kwato aware ye kobo ludu ni ade no ene sane o man wo twam eni wo biem social media no wa na wo no mu a ya dojejeje anie nam so nti nyame ya dom no wobetena so obehwe se won so wode beye ne dwumade kase pa mabunu ne pi no wa ne wom hia no se wom kan sam kire no mbisa ne nsam anasa bibia betumi aboa ma santempuntuo anso agina so no wobetumi afasa social media no so na waka asem bia da wopese waka ede kire no na ewon so obehwe nipa bi no mu obehwe so na sansam awodo ye baba no nyina no mbebo ne bodo boade abra no na wayiya no sane asanteman yempuntuo yesi bi pe no.
I think that from the discussion so far, it is clear that I've been involved a lot in youth leadership. And in time past, when I was young, my father would send me to a community center where they get to play Ludu Dami, among others. In recent time, those centers do not exist. There's a new society known as the social media, where we get the opportunity to share ideas and also to interact. So right from my student days, I was very present on Facebook, Twitter, among others. Having been of the youth, were rather on TikTok. So I may be posting on Twitter, but I would not be getting my target audience. The reason for which I needed to be very much present in that, and also His Excellency, the President. Given I'm rather going to use the platform to promote good governance, to leverage on that in order that the developmental agenda of the region and the country at large, so that we'll be able to drive the youth along and also get them to own the developmental policies of the government and the country. So I want to assure the House that I'm not going to overly rely on social media. However, the platforms will be available so that the youth who would want to reach me can still send a message, and there will be a team there who will look at the messages and draw my attention in order that I will be able to assist them.
So, as a regional minister, you are going to be supervising the MMDAs, and with your
I think that it is an interesting area that, when given the nod, I would like to explore.
I was on your turn, Kaya Santama was so for your partner for Euro Frank. I'm walking. Now I go so that woman or someone, one more man, penina power more, and I want my show Mujuma dear Asie. Now I ban in Yanani agriculture once and some no. You're Eric Opoku, one your power and another doors off from them, and so you're washing a Juma dear Sie. Now and they want so far to know what was I see. I could call Miami, I would run in your quadra. I shall not say. Send your bar no Mujuma dear, no one a new Behumubie, Nian Fat obey your free one affair. Argentina would be a honor to sono, Penny Pay what diaba. Na Abra, you ray, you my former career. What appear more appointment committee in one would know. What the two judges say, what did you, my dear son, go cry by your 20 ding? Sir, feed Ghana and feed the industry. Nasa, so a memono, ya benya diane papa dear, na fancy you knew my qua would one. Woman so boa my agriculture generation so no ye be se wo makina na anuane akoso doso na ebra ye rayi no kwa probo ewo amiamia wodo ne peso wodo no so no sei eno kan nsem
to be the engine to engender the anticipated growth, and therefore I'm here to urge all of you to offer us the support that we require. The politics is over. You may belong to a Chichelia party or Kotre party. At the end of the day, we are talking about Ghana and how to govern our country. So let's all hang our political jackets, mobilize all that we have, and then ensure that we succeed. Because this is the only country we have. If you are still in the political mood and you think that everything is politics, then you are an obstacle. An obstacle must be cleared to allow free flow of development. And so I urge everybody here that NDC, MPP is over. We should now focus on how we can contribute to develop our country. And by God's grace, our nation is endowed with huge potentials for agricultural development. We can use agriculture to redeem our people from the shackles and tentacles of agro poverty if we can work together as a team. And so, Director, I am here this afternoon with my team, the Chief Director, and then the Technical Advisor, Honorable Itubonde, to introduce ourselves officially to you and to let you know that it's not going to be business as usual. But when you look at the amount of money that we spend on emoluments, emolument alone is taking around 70% of our total tax revenue. So after paying salaries and the rest of them, we have nothing at all to even for capital development, to even develop our country. And so once we are taking the chunk of the money, our output must commensurate, proportional to the amount of money that we are earning.
I was so worried I was so for your show my Ghana agriculture so you are Eric Opoku. Now Professor Nanama Brown Cruche one no and na panyo kwancho for our baba share Environmental Protection Authority no eso na wono so abanan akoni krom abro sebu kwamanka se no won finfin mantamu ani ade hye no akwakoto kesa akodi nkomo pii no a na abro kokodru ye no na nante se nyina no se ne mafo na bompa ya pata na chie ya warmu nyina de won machicha ma no se nyame ya domo a mampanye John Dramani Mahamo beboni din na wono so aba benya tumidie ne bia kita e won finfin mantamu ampani ampane nuane ampa sende ya boni din a won tumi na nati konfama ne manfo da biara da sanse wiasim ba bia chechera boa na wan ye sanwo na sa waso oba na wode mpanyifo na se asabra wo mu biem na ebra Professor Nanama Brown kluche ko wonom na won nanom ahemfo ane mpanyifo kasa no sei ene sikoi
bibiara ni ho obi baye ma wa de insaya na wa say hen environment ka environment anya nkasa yen ho bibiara abibia na nto bibia se wonso nom abuya ye yi na mifim ni nara ode EPF de ne mu aye wonse nti eba yen nwura sam oya waste management a EPA so ohwe ho bi nti mo oba ya hen su no ho batew yan baby a ekwafo wodua hon endiazwa ezibana awodi gbogom nkom oba ya wobesisi ogwado wa atanu bi fiara awoga ne hebiara EPA by there obo ho ban na also oshe or regulate nti edumoku fu biara awoye eduma bi ohwe there woye ho eduma ye nti ma fan there se Ministry of Agriculture or the EPA washa there eduma also the Ministry of Agriculture woye ne ye waye ne ye ya de atwa so wo kwan bi do ya hwe ya Ghana ha yenimde ye nyina ye nusu a ya no eze galamse oya illegal mining go fu tutu gold wo foma and we try wo to wo ye nusu a ye no oya kasa odagana hanti
Abusiana no wachi no nana yamfo kwagiri ya wotoso dubako wana ya donchenyene ya wa Abra State wano na jina His Royal Majesty amenti mirim otu ya wotoso dubako Abra mahina nemu ya wakasaye ono so dieni.
Today we celebrate our daughter Professor Nana Ama Frankuche as she resumed her new role as the CEO of Environmental Protection Authority. We are grateful for Professor Nana Ama Frankuche's achievements. As we celebrate, we also look forward to collaborating with Professor Nana Ama in her new role. We humbly request that you investigate the matter of the Kakum National Park. Despite Abra owning the largest portion of the Kakum National Park, our state has been overlooked, and the Cape Coast Traditional Council and other traditional councils, which have little or no stake in the reserve, is erroneously recognized as the owners. We therefore appeal to you to look into the revenue creation by the Kakum National Park. Ghana Heritage Conservation Trust and ensure that Abra State receives the recognition and the compensation it deserves as the largest holder of the forest reserve.
I was aware nana yamfo kwagiri ya wotoso dubako donchenyene ya wo Abra State ana yetene nka ofimfi mantemu 21st clinic na yakan fodia mo bibia wonyankwa hwa na akwa so ahwe sanse siateka yade ana yade nkaye no won mutu ase akora bo ne se dwie adifiri honom wo laboratory centers wo scan and massage machines awodo a wode ye ne padua ne mo akwa anu dwuma nyina no 21st abusia won maginhini ewom wose brokuma se show overseas junction obuase council quarters Accra Dome Market Sunyan Kranza Ferta Chiman 0540 311 0540 311 Express Group na yakan for the amount. Oso pese to kwa he Canada US where dia won krata asa kita wani o yankon kwaje mfiri won sama na asa won koduru ansa no akwa kopen krata kira kwan Express na de wo kokuma se wasafo labor runabout Accra Kaneshi First Light 0249 000448 0249 000448 through a herbal center Nioko. What a through a core capsule saba. I as a siadiana, and as a cocoa. I am Tim Nabajawa sure. I was any out that dawati. Sans a through a core capsule saba. Walk one to what I know what you out of fun. And yard the pakuraya was yes so sure. Walk on a hair but and hair by Mr. Anasa Pedanka. Was up a cocoa massete drawn on Sabakabi, a bay your more jumapa 0546 107 107 0546 107 107 Mizo and 5G. I will say I'm not the one day woman tia pojana and naso when you be a we are put to our door birthday see baby be a dance yamudia can see a cost one any pardon bano. What's our the Mizo and as a 5G and never do Juma a papa. Asansu ya kama pa question overseas junction manager Daniel one of 21st clinic ubenya B na watoye nyina sway na hotel emersesia
21st clinic aye sciatica expert sciatica no o nerves na wo to ase na fa wo siremu na fa wo nansia besi ase ho no se ho techema eno ene ye fa ne sciatica na etimi bubu o to ase ka wo se dwe wo sirem wo je ho ba bia enye na no na 21st clinic ba ye adwuma pa wo mu ye ntia baso bo magine wo Ghana ha ene amono ne enyasem ketua Womuji international awards ahodo, womuji local awards ahodo. Na anu nso na womu be the only sciatica research and treatment center in Africa. Bibrim hano ebi ni baby a gise 21st clinic nkwa. Womu dia bibidro ene besa o yare no masa de machine aka ho. Eya yare sabia yare bia wutimi de ko ne mama ade ba ko a woma gidi womu pa no. Eya sciatica ena stroke nso de kwa. Diabetes ni hypertension ni ade Ghana ha baby a wo mo ho 0540-311-311 0540-311-311 na 21st clinic wo mo ye sciatica expert.
Introducing Mixer 5G Sparkling Drink, a whole new refreshment in a can. Mixer 5G is a tasty non-alcoholic drink. It is a perfect companion for all your events, including parties, weddings, and funerals. It is made with green tea, ginseng, guarana, grapes, and grapefruit. Get refreshed with Mixer 5G Sparkling Drink. For bulk purchases, contact 0246 270 221. This advert is FDA approved.
Brakasa ye duabon waso a ne dwumedi wo nipadua biara pom den ene na brabo mu ne hieye pa enye brakasa nko nuaban ne haban bi te se kwunsuso a abonwono ne dia akeka ho no kura enwanunu ahodo a ekwa animu yi ankasa brakasa ne se nuaban bi nom ne akeka bobudi afa abefo kwan so a ye de aye brakasa powder siesi nipadua na abakwa ahodo no ho ban afrimpani yade ne yade ahodo pi ho fa enkodate de ma baako freduane anopa ne anwumre anafa enkodate de ma baako woni suhie yeti anopa ne anwumre wobra wadidi awie ubenya prekese powder to Kingswalk Herbal ne Heroes Herbal Accra Okesi Drug Lane Dani Herbal Kumase Mensa Takrade Mose Pharmacy ne Greenlight Pharmacy Sunwane Kashenkari Supermarket Asantwa Herbal ne Bibidro Depot Techiman Sewa Herbal Mampong etufo mfre 0550 19 15-14 prekese powder aduane san yedro FD ahwehwe sankratu mu agiatum
sewa me hu acho me na no me bisa ekra so kwa brochu
kwaku afeina me beko me nkrata krani
eni me ma connection man for den kofo sika aduane ne wanya otedi mu sa no
Express Group Adarumenti akwentu ayefo opese otu kwan kosua dia Express Group do be call mind me to say Canada, US, Australia, UK, and Germany. Say a tour na se visiting so Express Group do be call Dubai, Canada, US, Australia, and Germany. Mo am pese motu kwan ko ye adwuma nso obetimi do wako Dubai, Qatar, and South Korea. If you also want to take international tests like SAT, IELTS, TOEFL, GRE, GMAT, they can help you pass easily. They can also help you secure a good job in the UK. You should make sure you Kumasi Asafo Labor roundabout Hwa Accra so Omo Carnation First Light Tema Omo Community 18 Lashebi Girl Filling Station. From more Ahumachro for ISO 055-555-0067 and 0249-000448.
Sompa TV Emma Akitiapa.
I was your dam was so much Yamaya Kwabaya Twasso. And I know fear that Chamona this year one more tears some paddy. Yadaman above your foot to Baba so more, sir. I this year been more one friend DC. I'm on your corner family yacht as executives and penny 43 one more can be. One more your yachra party office, we are children. One cock says, and your mapino as a shame your mother ya. One was a man pennyable body, no. Nanke futu penye pa na kwa kwa mrasio je fiama womo yero James ko fia na wa monedi ama no sha appointment nti wo madwa pa na asa nyambra sam no ko so no ani akwada sore ya krata aka se free andi sia manyoko no branch executives a wo mo afutu apiedwa na ebra ba ya no panyifo bo amane wo mo kire se wo mo anya ne yekura na no de no a ekọ so wi akire wo mo hye taise asase ne yo mama nkonye wo da mu nyina wo mo hye no afena mpanyifo na kwa tena se adwene ho ahunu sa de omo ye na sa bi omo di nkurasem enti mpanyifo mfancha wo mo na ebra ekuo no kasa no bapa Angela mensa na gira ko nyina na mu a wore chopa kase emai
oye ifide ya abasa no 24th January ye demonstration concerning appointment or kodo na nsese ya yezugwa akonimu na asase na nka onye demonstration asumdwim na ntayare bayan but yebodu yana party office han nzama enyi dane ma yeye za onsa da yeye nti da mabi se ya asa na ehie mu wo ha nya ye hu da azibi a yeye bia no yan ye ne ye usanda ye constituency executives wonye kasai but ye nyo twa no honhom na ye bu hwan nkoma a wonye ezi no do nti sende se ya asa na ebegina yan party office enyima yes yeze achopa no mu ye dur NDC ameyoku party no hu donti ya da achopa yazema yen oman panyin John Dramani Mahama ena oya hen vice president obabesia okukudrufo papa akrope Her Excellency Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajeman yenen panyinfo na yenen national executives nyina yese yezimunanim yenen sada yenen sayem de mayeye biara no yanye ne ye nti won fan chahen yaba hen region
I was your way your papa Angela Mansan your turning kind of fruit I want him not semi a free eba na kwen we ha me na educational complex and was Star Junction kwada sukro ponimu a church for ne mpanyfo wo mo na ebo amane yi wo mo kire sen sam ha pa ne ma bi kwaso a wo mbesra santemantem so afo ya pa na foforo se won fa nani enkoso yi pa wo mo kire mu a awura bi e fa ne sekere dia sante papa no do no abon ma ne se na asante abrochime amu no wote na ada baba Ghana no abusua chese de yi anase ya topono e woni fie wono nko na chese wo system akasi a ye de bonnwom eni papa yi wotumi biem ho na chese krom ho wo bia nya so na nkwanse wo de ada ama nkoda no kora te class no ma hyase de bu mu pa no mo sa enya ba bia chechefo no kira de kono e wo kora na won ma dwene no aya na da wo mo chese sa ne o ma no ekoso pa ama won ma gina so kora mpo ma headmaster esimu pampampan ne panyipa ya kwakasa na so hwan enya no kora no wotie wono nko na chese wotime bo nwom nim nwom hyehyɛ ya wo bo nwom twe akra e woni fie na headmaster ya wono da school no anu wura Emmanuel Ajay Adomako ana na nsantwofo din koma a wɔkyerɛ sɛ wɔbɛsere ne ekɔhɔ na no ɔden paa o ɛmoa ma de kyerɛ dwumadi ntimi nkɔhɔ nam so ntimpanyefo nka bia na santemantam so afo a yɛyi ne foforo wɔn fa nani ɛnkɔsa asɛmi ho
challenges in say one of our neighbors that's last 2 years the echo came say and crano air noise and he came before as a real letter and I call it letter ko na yo and kwada so and he call kwada so ko ye follow up on bibia and he ko no mo so tu nipa mo ba mo de tu bus and the nipa be ba how share say the nipa le kan no crano who said the Caribbean say Granny did ne Siren did. And that's 2 years ago. And no one say okay we na to na she ties school no compound wall mention ties be for ma say every morning na you receive the money it is papa na said to go. It's an anno pay sorry who say or the speakers I can see me answer no the abc war no chain and they share school mwasi ba ko bonum ba ko kasa ba ko so bonum na ni na the school mwasi since 11 that's 7:15 abc samwe ya menemo kasa ekobo tree still na so the I just say they did not pa a how crown am teachers in ko complain say ni sadia and kayama crown in kufi but e be say muhu na ewiase nyina eti obi ahu de papa no oni ye ana say dwumadi a odi o ase so otukwan na oba enim de ntia we sa report say noise and am crown e bet pay for them no be hu say crown noise bia anything no mashasi awoye noise
I was your way headmaster Emmanuel Ajay Adomako ne yɛte ne nka no watch us papa no wotokwa no oba na se honhom bi atie si ne so was so born you me de na say papa no so se nkoda no just say ne ne ba no de ne ba no wo mekeka no etuatua na so e ma ne ntimi na enti ono so kwan obefa so a obema nkora na ja sa wo mu dede no ene so obebo nyom na nkora de di asa na anu achi no ye ne churchefo nwo sukuu ni mu anso kasai.
When I came into the morning, I said, I asked the pastor, what is the problem? Behind the scene, it's a man that I'm doing the sound system. That is what he says whenever he travels and come back. So that is what he says. When I came to class, I was in the meeting. When it was after break, I decided to shout loud so that they will understand what, or they will hear what I'm trying to say. Because of the crowd and the noise, the school are made because of the students are able to hear what.
I was here not your son, no, I just for being a tear woman canon, not that anyone that watch it, no. I'll just say, be a woman judge, young for be out to move, and I saw more handing over, and no more year the day. My no, I got my no, so frabro chirabano. One on our be a yomosano, just a was a cassa witch and ticasano, and another test a best kuni munoa, a bra not no a cassana, some ya hometesampa, ya was a penny for per one semna or more eka. After your concern for from one after bra. I want him near Drano one share so submetru. I was somewhere and saka for one much room, sir. Walk on rabia moo. Sir, at that dibia, one must see an answer and see ye a moo. O rano dia, one must a Gideon. Yaja, sir, a yara was sempa. I don't share one copy so no at Chemusa. Papa no crown, why at my washing bill, one more. Bon show fui, a one of no yet, you man will be to me, who so I've been a quarter children, no quarter ho. Sir, na jono o kono ko jana nine eja bibi ka no wada ho sir sign na tie no wo montumi hu adekode apote pa ye amowura no wafiri musa and I'm so many assembly member yo no wafa nchene bra electoral area wo manya for Dominic owusu atwetwe nkomo de fa ho
ko every unit committee of Fanchimbra honorable Kwesiboatin ho say assembly si of Fanchimbra na semina ne say obi awuda obi dan uncompleted house mu enti metumrika bai mebedru ye na enokre na say me fra police for na omoba ene penny for a matter in the case nti yebetwa no pa be 6:30 when we do sisi ababe 9 to 10 na a police for ababe man so edeneko yebedru yebusebusa mu no enokre onfi function bra but otra dida na nanfofo nchen ewo uncompleted houses mu na adwuma pa ebu nsuo nti oyebo nsuo function bra ye no chefri ha akosantase opposite Bitcoin obaye adwuma ho ye no mu no ofri ho na amafo so mu hia no a wo mu se na pomden no ekofom de bia na ase so ate na no anadwuro mu se ote area ha ade chi ye ni petwam no mu se wo nyamedia
I was on an orchard, no, you're not a share at Fanchina Bria, Moko Humbino. Janne bin so kasai.
When say, a brand new mula, and she whom your friend of far. Was me can answer me, man. Every now and then you don't talk of Mukopius when I've been on a show man, because penny he be a daddy. Eating on the taste of mercy to an more by a bunch of beings and a queer confirm. Oh, in a pa, and another 5 days driving me, Tinams are other way. Was now far. Was meant to time pick me, man, be Antonia Wamano. Timna Nassam, Tinsam, Copenhagen, Banana, also Mediana doors, Ufana, Coffee, and Awokaha. Into my bonus, we are a young one because I see no one saying Santasia, dear. And then it means a few women or tea and as I say. And yeah, no. It's one day. One year Basabasa. When the ministers were able to show Fanchambra, to baby are free near Dinkum.
This can be Pama or tall. Oh, 1 year the pilot in the morning was such a chin hookah on one peck of fire, chick with Yamono, or buy a baby. We did your bones, so you know, or no fire says, yeah, on a man, a minute, Mokofa won't be, and I'm Chicosia, so do you want a man on Bocosia. Because I'm no, or boy, I know them. Now then, away. Only son, I'm a dragon now. Yes, I will be wealthy. Or say me person in person. I didn't also yes, sir. Make it on so because on tired and I'm much my daddy. And then, yes, I cram me boom.
na me mbuo fu machi afa so akọ na start chi me fi aba osenya na se wo mpem ojeje madum ogidi me pe rather me pe papa
Abusuana saya kase where adehye binu a wo wota fanchine bra ho no mara hosem a asie no ana yete se wo mu cheche wo yinyina so e na yemfa nsem no ansi kuku over no kajando ya grace akosua so mo abuzira man munyina da mo ase oro asante abo ba na de tini nsem fo panyi mi ambatena second kan ye no so midin ene akosua